take a breath. Leveling with you straight. Tom Cotton is... I think it's a bit of a challenge to try and find anything which is, how should we say, articulate, complimentary, in the vernacular of being a pleasant description. Tom Cotton is either dumb, unintelligent, uneducated, ignorant, a buffoon, or a combination of all of them. You would be pushed to find a description from anybody, I mean literally anybody, with regards Tom Cotton that is something, I think a used toilet brush probably would get a better string of words to describe its end part than anything in Tom Cotton's environment. Look, I'll just cut to the chase. He is a total toe rag. Google it. Oh, no, I got it wrong. Cupid stunt. Now, that's accurate.
I think they then had a lawsuit and it was overturned. I can't remember the details.
It's
another
was
company.
The Biden administration that reversed those sanctions, just like, by the way, they reversed the terrorist designation on the Houthis in Yemen. How's that working out for them? But it was sanctioned as a Chinese communist military company. So you said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again,
okay.
I'm Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopefully simple questions. You said earlier, in response to a question, that what happened at Tiananmen Square in June of 1989 was a massive protest. Did anything else happen in Tiananmen Square?
Yes, I think it's well documented. There was a massacre.
There was the indiscriminate slaughter of hundreds or thousands of Chinese citizens. Do you agree with the Trump administration and the Biden administration that the Chinese government is committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Senator, I've said this before. I think it's really important that anyone who cares about this topic or any topic can freely express themselves on TikTok.
It's a very simple question that unites both parties in our country and governments around the world. Is the Chinese government committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Senator, anyone, including, you can come into TikTok and talk about this topic.
I'm asking you,
or any topic that matters to you.
You are a worldly, cosmopolitan, well-educated man who's expressed many opinions on many topics. Is the Chinese government committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Actually, Senator, I talk mainly about my company, and I'm here to talk about what TikTok does.
Yes or no? You're here to give testimony that is truthful and honest and complete. Let me ask you this. Joe Biden last year said that Xi Jinping was a dictator. Do you agree with Joe Biden? Is Xi Jinping a dictator?
Senator, I'm not going to comment on any world leaders.
What?
Heads of all of these technology companies, including Mark Zuckerberg, some very powerful moments from all of this. This is an exchange that you had with the CEO of TikTok a short time ago. Let's play this.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
What were you getting at there? It's getting a lot of attention. Singapore is obviously self-governed, has been since 1959. Do you have some kind of information on this TikTok CEO that we should be aware of?
Well, first off, he acknowledged that TikTok is under the control of a company that has its own internal Chinese Communist Party committee. He himself worked for a company before he went to TikTok and ByteDance that was sanctioned by the United States government as a Chinese communist-controlled military company. TikTok and its parent ByteDance answers to China. And, of course, you can be affiliated with or associated with the Chinese Communist Party anywhere in the world. The Biden administration has many cases against American citizens who have been collaborating with and working on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party. Singapore, unfortunately, is one of the places in the world that has the highest degree of infiltration and influence by the Chinese Communist Party. So Mr. Chu has a lot to answer for what his app is doing in America and why it's doing it.
So you feel that you were justified in the line of questioning, and I'll just ask you again, do you have any evidence that he's a member of the CCP?
No, Martha, what I have is his record of working at companies that have been sanctioned because they are associated with and directed by the Chinese Communist Party, or working at a company that has internal Chinese Communist Party committees. It's entirely reasonable to pursue a line of questioning about whether he himself, like his company, is subject to the influence of the Chinese Communist Party. And Martha, he wouldn't even answer questions at that hearing about whether, say, China is committing genocide against the Uyghur people, or whether Xi Jinping is a dictator. What is he scared of? Why won't he answer those questions?
Good questions. Very good questions, Senator. Before I let you go, we watch these hearings. They come every 6 months or so, and nothing really happens. There's not really a lot of...
As we've heard, children face all sorts of dangers when they use social media, from mental health harm.
As we continue to listen to this hearing, we just have to say, wow, what we all just saw live on television is going to be a moment for the ages, when we just saw Senator Josh Hawley ask Mark Zuckerberg if he had apologized to the families, many of whom are there in the audience, an audience that the chair of this committee, Dick Durbin, said earlier was the biggest that he has seen in his 22 years on the Judiciary Committee. And then Mark Zuckerberg stood up, turned around, and spoke to the families. He was off mic, so we don't know exactly what he said. I know that we're trying to get some audible tape of exactly what he said, but that moment is something that I believe that we are going to be looking back on and talking about for quite some time. I have my panel here. Happens to be 4 moms. And, you know, obviously this is inside politics. This is a Washington hearing. But one of the reasons that people are so incredibly animated about this, passionate, angry about this, is because of what this means for children. The fact that there are people in the audience there on Capitol Hill.
These are bastards by any known definition. Mr. Zuckerberg, you and the companies before us, I know you don't mean it to be so, but you have blood on your hands. You have a product. You have a product that's killing people. When we had cigarettes killing people, we did some about it, maybe not enough. You're going to talk about guns, we have the ATF. Nothing here. There's not a damn thing anybody can do about it. You can't be sued. Now, Senator Blumenthal and Blackburn, who've been like the dynamic duo here, have found emails from your company where they warned you about this stuff, and you decided not to hire 45 people that could do a better job of policing this. So the bottom line is you can't be sued. You should be. And these emails would be great for punitive damages. But the courtroom's closed to every American abused by all the companies in front of me. Of all the people in America we could give blanket liability protection to, this